I don't know why vegans act like you have to be 100% vegan in order to avoid having health conditions, or that being 100% vegan, plant-based, is going to help you avoid health conditions. When you listen to these doctors and you listen to the vegans, they all have something different to say, which contradicts each other. So here we have a vegan who's going to tell you flat out that you don't need to be 100% vegan.
I think we have to acknowledge that very small amounts of animal food in the diet appear to be tolerable by humans.
In fact, if you look at it, some of the long-term studies, and my favorite study being the Adventist Health Study, shows vegans live exceedingly long, healthy life, but guess who's healthier than them? The pesco vegetarians.
Can I show you that having one small piece of meat once a week really will shorten your lifespan? No, I can't. There's no studies like that.
I've been asked this question many times. Do you have to be 100% whole food plant-based to really get the benefits you're talking about? And what's the evidence for it? Well, when I look at that question, I can't defend being 100% whole food plant-based diet for everybody all the time. I really can't.
What's also funny to me is that all of these vegan doctors who advocate for veganism, their patients, they instruct them to eat animal products.
I don't tell my patients to go vegan. I tell them to go plant-based. I do say eat fish or supplement.
That's why we don't take animal foods entirely off the table for a significant number of our people.
Now we have the vegan doctors coming out and saying, oh, we don't have any evidence that a little bit of meat, a little bit of animal products will harm you. That's not what you guys were talking about before, because before you guys were talking about it need to be absolute. But what I realize now is that the reason why you guys wanted us to be 100% is not because of the best interest of ourselves, but it was for the best interest of the animals. That's why you guys want to say you need to be 100% plant-based, no animal products whatsoever. Because veganism, again, isn't about me. It's about the animals. You just try to wrap it up and package it in a way to give me a what's in it for me motivation and lie to me and tell me that, oh, this is going to be a benefit to yourself and your family. When it's not, because now you guys are saying raw veganism does not work.
Yeah, but totally raw is such an unsafe way to eat. Yeah, because you can't get your nutrients.
One thing I'll add is I just want to make it clear. I don't think we all disagree very much on this, really. I think we're all pretty much on the same page.
Raw veganism is dangerous. And it's not just me saying that. It's the actual vegans saying that. And the vegans were not saying this back in those days. So the common knowledge of the common understanding of what the right way to do it has changed. You're warning them. You're saying, hey, don't eat it because you won't get the nutrition from it. So my question is, what's so different about the raw vegan diet than the cooked vegan diet, right? Because vegans are always sitting back talking about how people, omnivores or what have you, can't distinguish or pick out what particular vitamin or nutrient is missing from the vegan diet compared to the omnivorous diet. So what's different about the raw vegan diet? So this also contradicts the narrative that vegans told us, where they said, this is our natural diet. This is what we evolved from. We are herbivorous, frugivorous creatures.
It is the most perfect food for humans. We are frugivores. It literally goes right in, nourishes and hydrates, and then slips right out. You don't have to push. It's just like plop, 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 comes right out, same color. You know, it's amazing, and you can really tell that it's the best, easiest food for the human body to digest.
And look, you can listen to this lady here. She's doing an all grape fast now, and she's spouting the same sentences from these influencers who you can tell she's gotten her motivation and influence from. Look, let me show you something. And this lady has clients, she says.
The way it makes me feel now, because I'm so sensitive to toxins and cooked foods, that it actually can ruin my mood for like 2 days, and it's like not worth it.
These people will say anything to you. The longer you go on a raw vegan diet, the less food you need. What does that even mean?
Generally, on a raw food diet, unless you're eating a lot of food, and that's something else that happens, is the more you're into it, you need less and less food. So for me in the morning, because people always ask the question, I have a little cacao and goji berries and a little hot drink. That's it.
Why do vegans think that they're going to unlock superpowers? Stop. These people use this language that is frightening. When you see the pattern, oh, I'm going deeper. Oh, I'm going deeper into my detox. I'm achieving depths that I've never experienced before. I'm having a healing crisis. Please heed the warning of those doctors. They said don't do the raw vegan diet. If you could write down every type of vegan diet to do, you guys need to just start crossing them off one at a time. Which one is not the right way to do it? You guys just X'd out raw veganism. Even though that was the epitome of health at one point, right? You guys need a next. That means a frugivore diet. That's coming next. Raw till 4. That's right there on the chopping block. That's doing it wrong. This is Dr. Clapper. This is Dr. Pam Popper. And this is Garth Davis. 3 vegan doctors who are telling you, look, you can eat meat. You can eat a little bit of fish, or meat, whatever. And we don't have any evidence that it's going to hurt you. So quit being scared. Because the vegans brainwashed you and cultured you into believing that if you have a little bit of animal products, that you're going to have a heart attack. At the age of 25, come on. They literally said that consuming meat and eggs was like smoking cigarettes and doing heavy drugs.
I think comparing meat eaters to alcoholics and smokers is a little bit of a cheap shot.
No, you're right. You're right. Meat eaters have much more problems than alcoholics do. Alcoholism can cause liver disease and colorectal cancer and breast cancer, but meat causes a far greater range of problems.
I still think the comparison's a little unfair. It's a great analogy.
Why is it unfair? I'm going to assert that alcohol, people...
Now you're talking to people who have had drug addiction in the past or alcoholism, and you're trying to convince them with the same mindset that they have had with drugs and the idea of having abstinence, and that having even a small amount may even have them relapse back into meat eating. And it's going to spiral out of control and cause and destroy their life.
Juice fast vlog first before watching this one so you can catch up. But just to summarize, I've been living on liquids for most of this year, living in a high, feeling the best I've ever felt. Then I went on a date and ended up just going crazy, drinking a lot, eating cooked food, and after that I had a hangover, which was followed by a UTI, a sign of weakened kidneys, which then I tried to heal naturally with juices for 6 to 8 days. It didn't work. I got really sick. I basically crawled to...
This just goes to show more about how vegans want to try to make a universal principle for a diet that should be applied to an entire population, but they don't even consider the individual variables that people have experienced that just does not make this approach useful. It's ineffective. Yeah, it has shock value, but it's ineffective. Because now look at this girl. She's talking about how she wants to be pure.
I don't go into society a lot, and I do feel lonely about that. It is hard not eating to, socialize a lot of times, because so much of socializing is based around food and alcohol, neither of which I prefer to partake in often. It's not okay to just say, well, I've been working all year, I deserve to eat pizza and drink alcohol and be crazy because I have worked so hard. Everybody else does this all the time. I can do it this one time. Nope, that's not how it works. Your body takes it extra, extra hard once you're pure like I am. If you've done a lot of detoxification work and you have addiction issues from your past, make sure you work through those, because you can really, really hurt your organs going from this type of lifestyle right back into your old one. It's not what you think. You're not stronger and healthier that you can just handle anything. You are not used to breaking down toxins, and they will overload you and shock your system.
She's going to basically be hungover because, cooked food is an addiction too. Oh, you never heard vegans say that? They say that cooked food is an addiction.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Pump Vincent here. Today, raw till 4. What's the deal with that? Is it better than fully raw, 100%? Or is, it's better than not raw, right? Well, here's my opinion. If you eat fully raw, eventually you'll quit your addictions, your food addictions. You'll get rid of them. And then you won't stop, and then you won't be binging once in a while. But if you're on a raw till 4 diet, you keep teasing yourself. It's like smoking 1 cigarette every day. That's not sustainable. You just end up craving your cooked food even more.
These vegan doctors need to realize they're speaking to an audience. And the average vegan, they do not come from a background of mental stability.
Raw diets are inherently nutritionally deficient, and there is absolutely no reason to follow a raw diet long term. All it is an eating disorder, and all of these people are promoting a nutrient deficient diet that is an eating disorder. I wanted to talk about body dysmorphic disorders, my experience with having body dysmorphic disorder in particular. With that type of eating disorder, it's being talked a lot, but not too much on body dysmorphic disorder.
Something that just to binge eating, I had an orthorexic mentality that something like white rice was not healthy.
I'd think about it all the time. I'm like, as soon as there's an opportunity, let's say I was at my mum and dad's and they left, like I'd be anxious waiting for them to leave. I'm like, please, like, oh, hurry up and get out of here so that I can binge and spew.
Like that. Not making it any easier or better to recover. And
veganism was actually the reason why I finally recovered, but I think it also allowed me to kind of metamorphosize my eating disorder into just a more palatable form.
This journey with me, I'm literally thinking about eating cooked food pizza right now. I'm thinking, but I know how that would make me feel afterwards, and then I'd wake up tomorrow.
Or you listen to the vegan doctors like Garth Davis, who says he won't put his kids on a vegan diet because it'll influence an eating disorder.
But I think we run the risk of taking people who are younger and not sick and making them think that this is a diet for people who are very sick because it is so restrictive. So, but I think we have to be careful about this message, because if we can't sell it to people, we're done.
And so I said, that's the goal. I will defend that, because the question and then asked, does anyone know of any serious illnesses occurring with people who are consuming 100% whole food plant-based diets? Do you know of any evidence that people going 100% of the way, they're actually suffering illnesses? Do you know one?
Yeah, happened to my mom. So the bottom line is, don't do a raw vegan diet and restrict it to a handful of items without checking the amino acid content first. She ended up with hypoalbuminemia, low protein C and protein S, pulmonary embolism. And all she had to do was just ditch the almonds a couple times a week and add Brazil nuts.